Hi. Hello. Welcome to Living in the Light. And I'm Mary Amy. And today it is pre-Thanksgiving. It's the day before in the United States of America. Thanksgiving celebration tomorrow. It's November 23rd. It's Wednesday in the Matrix Illusion Work Week. How are you all doing out there? Hello. And I'm living in New York, and I'm Mary Amy, and this is all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your true potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. How are you this morning? What's going on? Are you going to spend some time in nature, 5 to 15 minutes? I'm so glad you're here with me. And I want to share with you that I have found the light. I see the light. Today I was at the gym and I was kind of feeling down. And I thought, I'm doing so much, and am I ever going to get where I would like to be? Which is what most of us say from time to time. Maybe we think it, maybe we say it. And so I was thinking it, and I said, gosh, am I going to get there? I mean, I'm trying so hard. And what am I trying so hard at? I'm trying so hard to reach my destiny. And I can see it, and I'm keeping my eye on the prize. I'm not trying to push anyone out of the way. I'm just trying to do it on my own, with positivity and light. And so I was doing something on a step in the gym. I was taking this class, and I'm feeling poo, sorry for me. I'm so sorry for me. Which is when the time is at that moment, we should wipe ourselves off and dust ourselves off and pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and keep going. And so in that moment, I saw in my third eye, if your third eye is activated, you understand what I'm referring to, your third eye chakra, which is connecting you to your intuition. It's connecting you to a view of another realm, other possibilities, another source outside this physical reality. And in that moment, all of a sudden, it came to me like this. It wasn't like I asked for it. I just saw it. And I saw the light on the horizon, which is what I speak of. And I said, oh, there's light on the horizon. And I did visit the water this morning, and I did look at the early morning sunrise. And so I thought, oh, that's why I'm having that view of that in my third eye. But then it extended, and all of a sudden, again, I'm feeling, oh, sorry for me. And then all of a sudden, in my third eye, I saw light. And all over, like entirely light. And then I got a sense that there was other beings, that there was those out there, other life forms. I don't know if they were, have passed, but another world, this world that I've been speaking of, that we are headed towards, this new belief system that's taking us to another reality. And, usually I get premonitions and I see in my third eye information. And it's not necessarily in the next day or two that I see this. It might be 6 months to a year prior, could be a few years. It's something that's coming towards me in my life. And what I saw this morning was I just saw intense light, and it was vibrant and it was peaceful, and I could feel it. My senses could feel it. And so what I'm sharing with you is that you can reach the light. And the light is going to be a place that you're going to look down at the matrix, and you're going to look around and say, oh my gosh, this matrix that I'm living in, this linear world, this simulation that we've been brainwashed, or we've been taught to believe that it's the only existence possible, is going to look silly to you. It's going to look like, why do we have this here? Why are we living this way? Why are we choosing this? And so my mind continued to travel, and I started questioning my own self and my own thoughts. And I realized it's all a choice. Every single moment that you're thinking and having a thought, it's all by your choice. And every single moment that you're going out into this physical reality and you're acting in the matrix, you're believing in the systems and the structures, it's your choice. If we just got up and we walked away, like, can you imagine you went to see a lecture, or you went before a group, let's say we were all seated in a room and there was someone speaking before us and they were just saying hogwash. We said, that's hogwash. I haven't said that term. I don't even know if I've ever used that word. Hogwash is that one word? And we all just said, that's hogwash. And we just all got up and left. We didn't believe what he was saying. And what I'm trying to convey to you and express to you today on this pre-Thanksgiving day in the Matrix, in the Wednesday in the Matrix work week, is that we don't have to have this belief system. It's our choice. We don't have to be robotic or follow. We can get up and walk away. And so that follows into one of our topics. So our topics today are Psyops. Am I saying it right? Psyops, they're psychological warfare, Psyops. Animals walking in circles. I've been seeing that a lot lately. Have you been seeing that? We're going to kind of cover that for a minute. And the Matrix destroys humans. Well, we know that. Everybody knows that. And anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you feel as though, this is something that you are enjoying. Because really, what am I here for? I'm here because I am all about light. That is where I'm guided to go. That is my purpose. And it's about awakening the masses. I realize that's why I do this every day, is to awaken the masses. And sometimes I'm having a rotten day. Sometimes I'm exhausted. I have a job in the Matrix. It brings tears to my eyes. I'm not going to get emotional. I'm not going to go, lose my stuff here, but I'm going to say it's not easy. And why am I doing this? Because I want to. It's what it's like, I must do this. I must come out here and say every day these topics that sound like they're conspiracy theories. She's crazy. She's cuckoo. But really, when someone says that, I say, oh, okay. Well, that means something resonated in them. If they're saying, oh, she's cuckoo, if there's an emotional impact, that's good. It's not negative. If someone's saying something that's not like, oh, yeah, that's Mary saying all these great topics and let's watch her. If they're saying the opposite, that's good too, because that means that they're engaging with it. That means that it's doing something to them. And that's how we all awaken. And that's how we are going to awaken. And we're awakening. When we say awaken, it only simply means that we realize that this is ridiculous. How we've been living is silliness. And this morning, when I saw all the light, all of a sudden, everything that I was doing in the gym, I looked around and I said, is anyone else realizing that this is silly? Is anyone else realizing that this is a gym? And we are, doing our 9-to-5 jobs, and here's my water bottle. And look, there's wonderful things in the Matrix. Not everything is negative. However, there are some situations and experiences that I don't really think we need to live through anymore. So I'm going to say pass, pass, pass. Hey, Sandra Bullock. Hello, Mary and everyone. Love to everyone. Love to you, Sandra Bullock. I haven't seen you quite a while. Where are you coming from? Everyone who's here, please write in the chat and tell me where you're coming from. Sandra Bullock. We know that's not your real name. I know I have you down here. I'll find it in a bit. Let me just move on. Okay, so Psyops, animals walking in circles, and the Matrix destroys humans. So Psyops, am I saying it properly? We know that I'm not so good at pronunciation. I haven't caught you in a while. You know why? It's because Sandra Bullock, it's because I've been doing the 7 o'clock. I've been doing it at 7 o'clock. So I only can do it on Wednesdays at 11. So sorry. And I love you all. And I'm so glad that I'm here. And it feels better to me to be doing it at 11. So maybe I'll be landing on a platform and I will be hired. I'll be hired in the Matrix. But no, I don't think I'll be hired in the Matrix. The Matrix doesn't want me because I'm all about the topics they don't want to be hearing about. They're like, shut her up. Keep her mouth shut. Quick, mess with her what's it called? Algorithms. Quick, glitch her show up. That happens whenever I preempt. If I write prior the night before, then all of a sudden that day, I get all these glitches in the Matrix. Okay. So Psyops. And I'm mentioning these psyops because I keep seeing this term and I went like, okay, well, what is that? It's psychological warfare. It's simply that. It's done by the military operations to influence us. So maybe a psyops is when you are watching on the television, on the media, on the news, or in social media, and there's some kind of storyline or some kind of narrative that is alarming. I want to say alarming. It seems a little bit scary, puts fear into us, and they promote this with propaganda. They're putting it through in communications, maybe newspapers and media. So it's known as, and it's known through the military, and it's somewhat known as brainwashing. They're brainwashing us by putting out these psyops. So it's a military operation to influence us, and it's getting a little confusing because both sides, the light and the dark, are both throwing these terminologies around. Maybe a bot is, maybe there's a mole. Is that what it's called? A mole or a troll, or someone's making up a fake profile and they're putting out this psyops. And so it's going to affect your perception and attitude, and groups and individuals. And it can be done by the government. It can be done by other groups, other little niche groups. And so just be aware of this. Tell a story vision. And so military actions are designed to influence. And, it's through the 3-letter government, the arms of the government, the CIA, the FBI, the DOD, arms of the government. These secret projects, these black op projects, and it's considered to be propaganda. And so we want to be aware of this, because now that really the matrix is crumbling and it's crashing and it's collapsing, and I'm smiling about it because I'm just excited about this new earth, all of these possibilities that we are creating with our thoughts, because our thoughts are a vibration and they carry a feeling and emotion. And when we all think in moments at the same time, then we are creating the physical reality. Now, the physical reality, it doesn't happen like this. It's going to be moments. I hate to use the word time, because time is a creation. Time is something that was created. I really want to say in this moment. So they're considered to be propaganda, and they're similar to an advertisement. And I've spoken about how the media is paid advertising. Well, psyops are advertisements as well. Like this morning, I saw this little video, and they were making some kind of war film or war video in Ukraine. Oh, no, I don't want to talk to anyone. Who is this? Hey, can I call you back? I'm doing a live. Okay, bye. There you go. See, no one knows my schedule anymore. Okay, so it's influencing target groups, and it affects your decision making. So, in other words, let's pay attention to the psychological warfare, this psyops. It's a type of operation that will affect you mentally or emotionally, and it's a battle, and it's going to be misleading information. So be aware. Like when you're looking at social media, I've noticed this on Facebook, that they leave up a video that they want us to watch eventually. I just ignore it. In the news section of Facebook, we know that this is all passe. We know all of these little social medias that we're looking at, these apps, are eventually going to just disappear because they're not going to be relevant anymore. They really aren't now, because we've discovered that it's fake news. And I know that terminology is associated with another conspiracy theory, but we know that I'm a truth seeker. I'm a conspiracy theory, so I'm allowed to say it. So it might promote, these psyops might promote particular misleading political beliefs, and its plans to coerce us. And again, I'm going to say, let's be aware of this, because it's happening all the time. And even those that I'm following on Twitter are saying that the term psyops. Oh, well, that's a psyops. Like this new movie that came out, Suddenly Died, that's a psyops. The medical stuff that's happened to us in the last two and a half years, that's psyops. People that are having heart attacks, that's psyops. So what that is that's propaganda, and that's a false flag. That's a campaign. Now that's a false flag. That what happens is occurs when one party takes a particular action and blames the other one. So be aware of this. And I know this is a little political today, but we are dealing with a lot of politics right now. We are dealing with this left and right, this Republican and this Democrat. And we all know that's a selection, not an election. Or I believe so. And are these officials and these leaders that we have right now, are they out there for our best interest? And I'm just bringing awareness. That's what I'm here for, right, Sandra Bullock? And so here I am saying and so. I'm trying to eliminate that from my speech. No more like and no more and so. And I'm just saying that because maybe I'll stop doing it. It's not necessary. So there's deception, and this is a way to convince us that what we are seeing isn't real. A false flag and a psyop is to convince us to have a certain decision and to go into a certain direction with our thoughts and our beliefs. But let's right now, in this moment, let's consider, what would you feel like and how would you deal with your life if, let's say, starting at this very moment, because this is how we crack open our belief system, because that's the only way to awaken. How would you be is if starting Friday in the Matrix work week, starting Friday, you didn't have to go to a job, you didn't have to pay taxes, you didn't have to worry any longer about someone telling you couldn't say something or do something. And you only lived in love and light, and you only considered going out to spend time in nature, seeing those that you love, and you could still do all the things that you're doing. You could still drive a car if a car was necessary. You would still drive a car, you still had food, and you were only focused on whatever your purpose and your mission in this lifetime was. Would that make you really uncomfortable? Because when I considered this, as I awakened, and I thought, well, what's going to be the world outside the Matrix if I'm awakened? After I've climbed out of the Matrix, if I've looked over the fence, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay my bills? Am I going to be okay? And it's a scary thought, because that's all we know. So I would like you to imagine for one split second that if Friday, you didn't have to worry about anything else forever. And you only were able to, and the only focus you had was whatever your destiny was, whatever your mission was. Maybe you always wanted to be a writer. Maybe you wanted to climb the most highest mountain. Maybe you wanted to play a musical instrument. I know at first it would be difficult, because we'd say, oh, well, I don't have self-confidence to make these decisions on my own. And I don't have enough focus to stay on task. But isn't that entirely up to us to figure that out? I mean, don't we have to tune inward and figure out exactly who we are to get to whatever we want? Why is it that we have to be pushed and dragged and made to do things and obligated? Why should we be obligated? We are sovereign beings of light. We are free. We were much more advanced than we realize. When we were birthed into this earth, incarnated, did you realize that you had so many gifts within you? Yes, when you were a child, you knew that. And you were like, oh, it's such a beautiful world. And then you were told, oh, now you got to go to school. Oh, now you have to take care of yourself and get a living going on and pay all these bills and pay all these taxes and rush. There's no time to do much of anything. Do you realize how much time? You have no time. Like, how are we supposed to make sure we're eating properly? How are we supposed to make sure that we're exercising and spending time in nature and doing all the lovely things that are possible in this earth? Are we having any fun? Our fun should not be where we go and we take a vacation 2 weeks out of the year. And forget about materialism. In this new earth, where all the light exists, where all the ascended masters are, you're just going to see light. You're going to be existing in light. Materialism isn't going to matter. It's not going to matter if I have a $300 pen or my blouse costs $1 million. It's not going to matter. No one's going to care there. So Friday, I'd like you to wake up and I'd like you to imagine the world that you want to live in. Maybe you can start today in this very moment, because it's possible, and that's where we're going. I'm sharing with you, all of these structures are going to be gone. Now, I don't know if the solar flash is going to come anytime soon, but before it comes, we can start on our own. We can start to really try to activate our third eye if it's not already activated. And I say, imagine light hitting your third eye chakra, which is between your two eyebrows. And maybe it's about tuning into your intuitive clairsenses, because the only one that's going to get there is you. It doesn't matter what's going on out here. We're going to create this new reality through our thoughts. Okay, so moving on. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Here I am. I'm Mary Amy, coming live from New York. And Sandra Bullock, where are you coming from? I know it's on my little list here. You're the only one writing in the chat this morning. Anyone who's writing in the chat, Midwest. There it is. I know I'd find it eventually. Yes, we want to manifest. They want to take up your right. So before we move on to animals walking in circles and what's that all about, walking in circles, the Matrix was designed, this linear world was just designed to have us make things and use us for our energy. And it was a distraction so that we couldn't pay attention. We're supposed to live for hundreds of years, aren't we? We could live, and I'm going to get on to Matrix destroys humans. We are capable of so much more. And as your DNA comes online and the light codes come through, it's very healing. You might want to try doing a meditation. Like I said, spend time in nature today. Maybe see the sunset. Just breathe out. Sometimes we're holding our breath because everything is too much. We don't even have time to cry. We don't have time to laugh. We don't have time to feel, because we are distracted and we are told that we have to have task, and fill up our whole day with everything. There's no moments to just breathe. Let's let out a breath right now. Let out a breath. We have to breathe. We have to live. We're here right now. Let's enjoy it. We are surviving 2022. We are surviving 2023. And we are not going to be told what to do anymore. We are breaking free. We are breaking free. And when we break free, we own. We know we own. No one owns us. We own ourselves. We're not going to give permission anymore. If you're in this group and you don't like what the leader's saying, you get up and leave. You don't argue. Don't give it attention. Ignore it. Ignore it. You give it more power. When we sit there and we debate, we're giving it more of our energy. Let's let it go. It's not important. Go away. So animals walking in circles, what is that? Well, should I be saying it in a laughing way? Maybe not. It might be a serious thing. What am I tuning into when I see this? Does anyone know what I'm referring to? So there are these little videos that are going on, and this TikTok posts these 30-second videos, I believe. I'm not on TikTok, but it's actually it's consuming our attention, and it's making us have less. It's forcing us not to look at things for very long, and then we go, oh, that was yesterday. Oh, that was a second ago. We have to have more patience than that. TikTok will be gone soon. But on TikTok and some of the social media, and even there's articles written about it. When I Googled it, I said, oh my gosh, or you can look at DuckDuckGo. but I don't know if any of it is really accurate anymore, except that they're trying to give us disinformation. They're trying to say disinformation. They're trying to censor us. Anyway, this walking in circles, it's sheep. So there was these sheep walking in circles. I believe it began with that in Mongolia, in China. And allegedly, they were walking for 12 days. I think it's been a little bit more since November 4th it started. So, hey, Garrett, thanks for joining us. I've remembered my ability to receive messages from spirits who have passed. Very powerful. I was able to deliver a message to the grieving friend who we both. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, thank you for joining us. Garrett is coming from, and I'm going to remember eventually where everyone's coming from. Boston, Mass. Thank you, Garrett, for joining us. Hope you liked the video. So these sheep have been walking in circles in Mongolia, in a circle, for 12 days. Now, I know that, what does a circle represent? We know what a circle represents: whole. A circle represents God, perfection, and totality. So, hey, Ian, thanks for joining us. You know, these are my 11 o'clockers. I've been doing a 7 o'clock because of my work in the Matrix. Thank you for joining us from Liverpool, UK. Hello, everyone. I was just mentioning psyops, which are military operations to influence, and we're speaking of these animals walking in circles. It's also been insects, cows, the sheep, and chickens. I think they were chickens or roosters, and they were just walking around a tree. These chickens or roosters. I couldn't really tell what they were. And insects. Now, so you start to wonder, what is that? Why are they doing this? Is this a warning? Is this an indication of a shift? Well, we know there's a big shift going on right now. We know that this shift that's going on is an influx of light from the sun and these frequencies. And I believe there are angelic realms, these portals that have brought angels descending and ascending on the staircase into our physical reality, because we have been undergoing a spiritual war. It's the World War III. And with that, we had a lot of evil. We've had a lot of evil on the earth because we've been taught and raised that villains are here. And so we've been believing that there should be fear and crisis constantly. We should always be concerned and worried. Am I going to get that illness? Who's putting the illnesses out? I begin to wonder. We're going to get on to this matrix destroys humans. And so these animals these creatures that are walking in a circle, oh, I believe they're walking this way or walking, I can't tell because the videos, you don't know if they're backwards. And so these animals that are walking in circles, is it a sign of danger? You know, is this a psyop? Was this created to be concerning? And I sense no. I'm tuning in. There's some occurrences that I've seen, you know, some of these situations with guns and shootings. Some of that, I wonder if those are psyops. Are those false flags? Are those military operations to try to convince us? Or is it government leaders trying to take away our rights? I don't know. But this animal walking in circles, I believe it to be true. So, you know, sheep are known to be followers of Christ. And is that a symbol? Is this a symbol with the sheep walking for 12 days straight in Mongolia, China? Is it a sign of the apocalypse? We are in the last days, and the last days are the last days of this timeline. We are headed to this new timeline. Everyone who's joining us knows right now, this group, that we are here. We are you're my morning crew, and I really appreciate you being here. You know, living in the light, which is all about living in the light. And I've hit the light. I'm in the light now. It's constant. And my words were tumbling out of me, and my mind was not working properly for the last few weeks. And I didn't know why. I said, oh my God, am I missing vitamins? Maybe it was just so many tasks that I had to do in one day because there was no time. I couldn't do all the things that I loved. All my fulfilling Creative projects have come to a halt. So, this major change on the globe that's happening right now, these animals that are walking in circles are another sign. And I spoke about divine truth and divine events that are coming. And we must know that we can't be waiting for someone to save us at this moment. We can no longer sit here and say, oh, well, that leader is really looking out for me. And oh my goodness, I think I just should just wait. Let me just wait. I'm going to put everything on hold because I know everything's going to turn out. We can't do that. We have to take back our power. We have personal power within us. And our thoughts are very powerful. And if we go along with this conformity and our choices, we let others decide, make decisions for us, our true self. We have the answers within us. We always have. But we were convinced, we were made to believe that these leaders out there, when we say you can't trust a car salesman, a lawyer, or a politician, but somehow we're supposed to believe that. And then we're supposed to believe the newscasters on the television, which was invented for entertainment. We're supposed to believe everything they say when they're getting this piece of paper in front of them, or they're reading from the teleprompter. They're reading from a teleprompter. It's not them sitting there. They're not someone that you should be influenced by. It's all paid programming. The commercials that come in between 5 and 15 commercials between every single show on all the networks. Not the streaming. The streaming is where you turn on a video and you watch it. But on these networks, which, have you known that the viewership on the networks is going down the first time ever in history? They say, I think it's the Nelson ratings. The viewership has gone in the tank, which is a good sign. And what's come up is all the streaming platforms, all the YouTube. And, I was listening to that's right, the teleprompter. I was listening to one of these other YouTubers, and they said, we're not going to get rid of the YouTube. We're just going to enhance it. We're going to have it evolve into a place that all those awakened are watching it. And, everyone out there that has been making money, currency, wealth, off of us through advertising, because we go buy their stuff. We see this advertisement. We say, oh my God, that's the only mug. This is the only mug. I saw a commercial and they said this is the only blue mug. And you must buy this blue mug. And maybe it's $50 for this mug, but hey, it's the best one. And we're convinced. Now, where are they making this mug? And is this mug just like a million other mugs, but you're told that this is the best mug? How much did it actually cost? But they're charging $50 because you're believing that. That's a belief system. Your program. Do you know how silly that is? That's silliness. We can't be buying into that anymore. It's ridiculous. So the animals walking in the circle, a major change is coming. And maybe this is an indication because, nature tells us first. When you see all of these tsunamis and these cataclysmic events that have happened, you see that nature's running away from it. Maybe nature's giving us a little hint about something, but it's going in a circle, and circle is God, circle is unity, circle is totality. And so I believe it's a positive. It's just a sign. Now, also, it could be Earth's magnetic shift. And it could be new Earth. It could be because of the ascension. It could be because of the awakening. It could be because evil is leaving. There's many possibilities. I'm not saying like Starbucks coffee. I do like the chai tea lattes at Starbucks. I do. I went in there yesterday, the day before, and I stood there and I said, I'm waiting this long for a cup of coffee. I'm waiting, but it tastes yummy. So I do like Starbucks coffee. Like I said, there's some really lovely things in the Matrix, but I don't know how it's going to play out after everyone awakens and they say, well, I don't have to do this anymore. You know what, I'm not going to be a barista in Starbucks. Who's going to make the Starbucks? We start to wonder what will happen. So all of that will crumble and that will collapse. Now, nothing can come into this new earth. A new earth, a new civilization cannot build up until everything from the old collapses. Just like within ourselves, within our beings, you cannot create a new version of you without all of you collapsing, right? A new version of you has to come forward. So be aware of that. So the animals and the humans have cells have long been known to sense and react to electrical fields. So they do detect electricity. And humans and creatures can sense Earth's magnetic field. So is it the 5G? Is it frequencies raised? We're not quite sure. We're learning right now. We're learning about what this could be. More information has to come out. And so the Earth's magnetic field, the geomagnetic field, extends from Earth's interior out into space, where it interacts with the solar wind and streams of charged particles from the sun. So that is a possibility. It might be the magnetic field that's causing the animals to walk in circles. It might be an indication of change, a shift, the shift in the matrix, glitches in the matrix. I'm not quite sure. We're going to find out. I'm sure evidence will come forward and we'll know. So there's the so. I said so again. So the matrix destroys humans. This linear world that we've been in, the average people who do not believe in themselves live in this matrix. And it's a simulated virtual world where humans are mentally trapped and placated so that they can be kept alive and produce energy. In a nutshell, anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And so we have learned that the television breeds deception, fear, and crisis. Here I am speaking of all my conspiracy theories. And we're going to get on to psychic phenomenon in a little bit. And I want to mention angels. Angels are beings of light, and they come from the heavens to earth to protect humanity. And they are not immortal. They are non-gender. They're made of light. They're benevolent celestial beings, and they're creatures. Could we be one of those? Could be any of those. Yes, I agree with you. And so the matrix, so the matrix is destroying humans because of deception, because of programming, the food ingredients, they produce illnesses, they weaken our systems, and we are programmed to believe in unhealthy lifestyles. We don't have commercials constantly about healthy food or exercise or spending time in nature. It's all about consumerism. It's about what can we make off of humans? How much money can we make off of humans? And it's kind of sad. The only way to deal with this is by tuning it out, I would say, and try to take yourself away from any of that negativity or any of that media or just toxic thinking, of the crisis and the fear. And the government imposes rigorous standards on us to make us believe that it's normal, which is something, what I'm referring to is, all of these taxes. We have to pay taxes for food. We have to pay taxes for work. We just have to pay taxes, so many taxes. And that is because that's going into the Federal Reserve, the IRS, and then they're doing with our money what they choose to, whatever they want. And I don't think who made that up? That's not cool. Was it one of the R's, the Rockefellers or the Roth? I think it was the Rockefeller. Mr. Rockefeller made that up. Federal Reserve. And so then there's the medical structures. They encourage humans to rely on medical medicine for survival. And we've just kind of been bred to believe in all these villains and materialism and consumerism and debt and pain and destructive ideas. And so it's breaking us down every single day. All of this is stressing us out. When we get stressed out and we have fear, what do? You hold your breath. It affects your nervous system. Maybe it raises your heartbeat. Maybe it raises your blood pressure. And what does it do to you after many, many days of this? One moment of this, when I get stressed out for an hour, it's too much on my system. If we're stressed out for a couple of days because we're rushing, we don't have enough time, it takes over and we are not working at our optimum. We need more breaks. We need more rest and healthy food and exercise and time in nature. So technology takes away from our thoughts. It's a distraction, like I mentioned earlier. When we are looking at our phone too much, or we are, on our computer, if you sit at work and you're on a computer all day long, it's not really healthy for your eyes. It probably causes you to put too much stress on your visual, and eventually you're going to need glasses, and then eventually you're just going to get tired. It makes you tired, and so by the end of the day you want to go home, and then what do? We watch the television, which is promoting propaganda, and it's promoting crisis and fear. Yes, ground yourself. So how do we ground ourselves? Well, we can go out to a big healthy tree. We can stand by it. We can put our hands on the tree, and we can be in a big, strong, healthy tree's energy field. And then we ground ourselves so we can begin to have our own thoughts come into play. We can let out a breath. And if you don't have time to go outside, because time is so important, but if you're living in this moment right now and we have gratitude, let's imagine our feet firmly planted in the earth's surface. Maybe we want to wiggle our toes in our shoes or grab our knees so that we can be feeling in this moment. Maybe we want to look at what's going on around us. We emphasize whatever this is right now in this moment. So we bring forward this moment and we have gratitude for it. Because when we are grounded, then we can come from a place and we can sit back and look at, we can have more discernment. We can realize what is important to us. Instead of rushing to make a decision, we have choices. Every single moment matters, and every choice you make matters. And so some ways that we're not going to break down our healthy cells and we're going to release all these destructive ideas. We're going to be very much aware of our thoughts. If you could see all of your thoughts throughout the day in front of you, what would they be? They're written on a piece of paper. If you were attached to a machine and it said all of your thoughts, what would your thoughts be? What would your thoughts be? Are your thoughts about worry and concern? I've begun to take over my thoughts. I've realized, you know what? I'm not going to think about that anymore. And it's a process. You evolve, you transform, and more light that comes into your system, the more that you are accepting yourself, trusting your heart, trusting your spirit, because you are guided. Your intuition is within you. When you're in a place of alarm, if something scary happens, you're not operating with your thoughts. You're operating with your intuition. You're reacting and you're dealing with the situation automatically. Your intuition is very powerful. If you allow that to come out within you, you can determine so much more. You can see opportunities. You can probably predict events that are about to happen to you. So let's begin to crack open our third eye. Let's realize that opening up our third eye is going to bring us to light. If your third eye is not opened already, please ask for it to be open. And maybe that's prayer. I pray. Maybe it's putting amethysts on your third eye chakra. Maybe it's visualizing light hitting. Maybe it's doing a deep breathing, doing some breath work, deep breathing meditation, a visualization, bringing light into your system. So light is all around us. If you want to listen to 432 hertz, sound healing, sound bath, in the background, maybe you're doing chores around your home, or just listen to that rather than these frequencies. A lot of these frequencies that are coming through in our television, in our radio, in our phones are harming our systems, and we are affected by it, whether we see it or not, and whether we realize it. And it's breaking us down. So let's have sound healing. Let's have natural, healthy foods. Let's drink a lot of water. Let's spend time in nature. Let's exercise. I still struggle trying to bring light in. Ian, I don't know if you were here earlier when I said that light came into I was at the gym this morning and I was feeling really down. I felt defeated. I'm going to cry because that moment was so powerful for me. And I said, I can't do this. I can't exercise. I can't do all of these activities and keep going. I'm exhausted. And then all of a sudden, I saw my third eye. I saw this light on the horizon, which is what I always speak of. A difficult situation will improve beyond our vision, beyond our view. Goodness is coming. Good luck is coming. And what I saw, is that upside down? When I saw this in my third eye, I saw this rectangle and I walked up to the window as I speak of, and the sun was coming up over the horizon. And then all of a sudden, like magic, it was miraculous. All of a sudden, all I saw was light. And I tuned in. I said, oh my gosh, I think I've ascended to the fifth dimension. And then I looked around and I saw that everyone else in the gym was operating in the matrix. And I thought, is anyone else here awakened? I'm awakened. And so you can get there. You can get there, Ian. It's there. It's going to take, ask for it. Close your eyes and imagine light. Visualize light surrounding you. Visualize light in your heart. Imagine a big, let out a breath and just release any tension in your body and surrender to it. And imagine light filling your heart and spinning clockwise 3 times. Imagine light spinning clockwise 3 times and counterclockwise 3 times. And then the light's traveling and it's expanding and hitting every single bone and cell and organ and your flesh. And then it's coming up to your mind, and it's filling your mind with light. You're making room for more thoughts, more positive thoughts. It's all up to us. It's a choice that we have. We can't be forced. We have to give permission. You know that. You know that, don't you? Evil knows that. When we give away our permission, when we give away ourselves, they can do with what they want with it. You have to say no. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not giving my permission. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say no. We can say it loudly too. We can say it quietly. We can say it to ourselves, but we're going to say no. You can say no. Now we can imagine this invisible line 12 inches from our body, and no one can come into our space unless we give permission. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You can say no. LOL. LOL. So, so there's chi energy. There's chi energy. So light is all around us. I'm sharing with you that I see light all around us now, which means that it's coming into the physical reality. And that means we're all going to ascend momentarily. And we can get there quicker by cracking open our third eye, by having positive affirmations. Like maybe you just say, well, I'm having a rotten day, or I just don't want to get out of bed this morning, and say nature, love, light, and put that out there. Because when we have a thought and then we also say it, we're magnifying it. So it's possible for human beings to alter their electromagnetic environment around their hands at will. It's called chi energy. I don't know if anyone knows that. I found out about that today. So anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel and write in the chat if you still deem so. So let's move on to psychic phenomenon. Let's move on and let's say, hey, have you woken up all of your clairsenses, your clairaudience, your hearing, your smell, your taste, your sight, and then there's this sight, but then there's your third eye sight, your sixth sense, because you can master it. You are capable of mastering your clairsenses. Your feeling, your touch. It is true when they say that you can imagine a bubble around you. Yes, you can visualize light around you. If you are someone who's empathic, or you've become more empathic since you've been practicing your clairsenses, you can imagine light around you. If you feel when you go into a group or a crowd, you all of a sudden feel like, like you feel little shots of pain, or you feel as though you've been pinched. That's what happens to me. All of a sudden, my energy level drops if I'm around many people because I'm absorbing all of their emotions. When your extrasensory perception rises up within you, you begin to sense people's moods. So you absorb it. So if, let's say, you're in a great happy mood and you're like, oh, everything's fabulous, and you walk into a group of people, maybe you go to a concert or a party tomorrow on Thanksgiving. If you go to a party or a family event and there's people there that maybe aren't from your same mindset, they might think you are a conspiracy theorist or you're a little cuckoo or something in that realm. You might feel as though, you're getting psychic attacks from them, their thoughts, because thoughts are very powerful. You can feel people's thoughts. Have you ever gone into a room or someplace in a group of people and there's beings out there that don't like you, and all of a sudden you're starting to feel as though you have arrows through your heart because thoughts are that powerful. There's energy attached to every thought, emotions, and feelings. That's how you can become telepathic, because you are able to read other people's minds. So tomorrow, remind yourself to imagine light around you. And when I say light around you, on a sunny day, what does the light look like coming from the sun? That is the light I'm referring to. White light is a place in the universe that stores, it's all goodness. It can't hurt you. It's positive. So empathics, empathics know this. I'm empathic, so I know to shoot light around myself. Hey, Deanna, thanks for joining us. You get emotional. I hope you like the video, Deanna. Yes, I get emotional as well. And that's why if someone tells me a story and it's very touching to them, I immediately receive their feelings. I tune into their feelings. I used to block all of that, but then I was blocking other parts of me. So I'm not blocking anything. I'm like, okay, I'm letting it all out there. I tuned it all the way up to 10. When I say the dial, I tune up my intuitive clairsenses, my psychic phenomenon, all the way up to 10, most of the time, because I can handle it. And that's, if I block one bit of channeling, I'm blocking another bit. I'm allowing clairaudience to come through if I want to hear something, a voice. It's constant. I heard it this morning when I woke up. What about everyone's dreams this morning? Did you write down your dreams when you woke up? Do we have time to write down our dreams in this moment? So, psychic phenomenon, it's a knowing. You're going to receive impressions, sensations. They might come through, and they might come through in images, symbols, sensations, messages, visions. You might be predicting events. You might be able to predict or telepathically communicate with someone by thinking of them, and then they call you up or they send you a message. That happens to me quite a bit. And so you might also begin to receive alerts or premonitions or vision. Maybe you're going to be in touch with angels, angelic beings. Maybe you sense God speaking to you. Maybe you might have visions with the Virgin Mary. I have had dreams with the Virgin Mary, the Holy Spirit, and angelic beings. We can all ask for any of this to come into our lives. It's about us accepting it. So if it resonates with you, if you feel as though it brings some kind of energy to your heart or you're drawn to it, then go to it. It's something that you're supposed to uncover within you. You know, we don't have the ability to uncover some of this because we were crushed and we were compressed for so long. So we must begin to allow it to come into our system. And what that means that we have a willingness for it to be here with us. And we must accept ourselves and we must surrender to it. All right, so we're going to do some telepathic exercises right now. Anyone who's joining us? I had a scary blob and I asked, who are you? And I said, it said the news, something and a dream. The news, loin, a dream. I can't read that. Maybe it's a typo. But, I've been having some really intense dreams in the astral realm. Have you? And I go to sleep at night and I do remind myself, be in love when I fall asleep and I won't have psychic attacks. And I've been having these dreams, these enormous dreams. They're like an epic, an epic book or an epic film. And it just goes on and on and on. And there's all these rooms and locations and staircases and many beings out there, some of which I don't even know, some of which I do know. Yes, a typo. And so there I'm saying I'm stopping and so we are capable of so much more. So these light codes that are activating within us, you might feel as though you're exhausted sometimes or bursts of energy. You might no longer like certain foods or you begin to like new ones. Maybe you feel or sense as though your body only wants healthy food. I don't want only healthy food, but that's the only thing my body will take, unfortunately. Because when I try to eat something outside of that, it hurts me. Okay, so let's do some kind of telepathy work right now, some psychic phenomenon. So we're going to close our eyes or keep them entirely open. That's up to you. And you're going to just let out a breath. And we're going to try to relax all of us, starting from our head, down our neck, our shoulders, our arms. Maybe you want to circle your head a bit so that you feel, maybe turn your body, because we really want to get in there. We want to do some deep work today. We want to allow everything of our truth to come forward. When we do this work, maybe a memory will come forward, a new inclination, a direction, a vision, an alert. So we're just going to try to, really let out anything that's bothering you. If you have to speak it out, let it out. We're going to really go into some kind of relaxation right now for this psychic phenomenon practice. And we want to have joy in our heart. We want to go back to joy. That's where we need to be, is joy and have fun. Tomorrow's a special day. It's Thanksgiving, and we're going to celebrate hopefully with our family and friends. But you know what? If you want to protect yourself, like I said, you can have the circle of light around you, or you can put your arm across your chest like this, right? Across your heart to protect yourself if you need that. If someone's talking to you and it's injuring you, just either walk away or say, change the subject, or put your arm across your heart to protect yourself. All right, so we're letting go of anything that's bothering us, any doubt that we can do this, any thoughts that we have that come down into our senses, we're going to send back up. We don't need any of these thoughts. Uncross your legs. So we're going to make contact. We're going to drop down into our senses. We're going to physically make contact. We're going to drop down into our senses, and we're going to have concentration. We're going to tune in. We're making a connection in this moment, in this present moment, with our senses. So now you might want to identify all of your senses. Tune in for a moment to your hearing. What are you hearing? What are you hearing in the space that you're in? What are you seeing with your third eye? If you need to open your eyes, if that you're more comfortable opening your eyes. What are you smelling? Take a moment to engage with each of your senses. What are you tasting? Do you have any taste? What is your sense of touch feeling right now? Are you feeling any vibration on your palms, just having them out here? What are you feeling in your heart? Okay, so all of your senses, remind yourself of all of your senses. And so let's drop down into the senses, surrender to them. And I'd like you to tune into your heart right now. Let's tune in. And if you choose to add another sense, if your heart is not, if you're not able to tune into your heart, which means you're tuning in to whatever you're feeling. And then we're going to have a suggestion. And the suggestion is going to bring you to some kind of impression you're going to receive from another source, an outside source. Maybe a mental picture, maybe a sensation, maybe something visual. You'll hear something, clairaudience. All right. So we've dropped down in, we've relaxed, we feel relaxed. We're going to have deep breathing. And we're going to tune into our heart right now, in this moment. And we're going to take away any doubt we can do this. We're tuning into our clear senses, our feeling, our sense of empathy. So what are you feeling in this moment? That's what I'd like you to go to in this very moment. What are you feeling in this moment? An emotion? Do you see something? Do you hear something? Okay, so I was hearing, it was like myself was telling me information, and I was hearing that I've actually, I dropped into a new place in my life, in my being, and I'm able to access part of me that I wasn't able to access before. That's what came through to me. Whatever came through to you is entirely going to be personal. With our clear senses, everything is personal. So accept that. You're going to find yourself in a different way than anyone else does, and you must have a willingness to accept that. There's no proof. It's just you knowing you. Okay, so like I said, we're going to drop down into our senses. We're focused that our breath is calm. We are feeling, we've made contact. So we've tuned into our heart. We've tuned into our empathic side of ourselves. And now I'd like you to make a suggestion. Now, if any thoughts come down to disturb your concentration with connection to your heart, because you've made physical contact, then you send the thoughts back up. All right, so we're tuning into our heart and our feelings and our emotions. And I'm making the suggestion for you to remind yourself the last moment that a circumstance brought you joy, and go to that moment and let's see what you're feeling, and you remember it, and I'd like you to go to it. The feeling of joy, the last moment in your lifetime that you felt joy. Okay, so whatever you're recognizing as an impression is entirely up to you. So you might have you might have learned something new about the situation. And the reason why I'm asking you to go to joy and I'm suggesting you go to joy is because I believe that that's where we should be living in most of our time, most of our existence. And if it was really hard for you to remember a time that you felt joy, then that's a good reminder that there's something that you're doing in your life right now that's not working if you can't reach joy. Okay, so let's accept whatever we learned just now. For me, I was with family members and I saw a child's face and that brought me joy, and the laughter brought me joy, and then I was looking around to the energy that was going on and I realized that a child's energy is very powerful and vibrant, and we should protect children as much as we can because they are they will change they change the earth. Children change the earth. Okay, so that's we did that psychic phenomenon. We did a little practice, and I'd like you to practice maybe more while you have a break from me if you don't see me for a while, because I'll be back again Friday at 7. I won't be here in the morning, fortunately. So maybe you want to go into a quiet space and practice your clairaudience. We're going to do the ball of light in a minute. You might want to send someone telepathically some information, sender, receiver. You're the sender, they're the receiver, or someone sends it to you. You set up a time that you're doing it. Anyone who's joining us, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Maybe tune into a stranger over the holiday weekend and see if you can do any reading. You can read their personality. And so when we do that on our own, we want to remember all the steps, which is you just letting out a breath. You're letting go of any tension in your body. You're pushing away any thoughts of doubt or any thoughts at all. And you're dropping down into, it would be, imagine, like a little puzzle piece that sits into the puzzle, like a jigsaw puzzle, one of those kids' puzzles. It just drops in. That's what you want. You want to be dropping into your system so that you can accurately connect with all of your senses. So you're feeling as though you made physical contact, concentration, and focus. And then you're just allowing yourself to receive any impression through that sense. Now, after a while, it's going to become automatic. You're not going to be looking towards doing all these steps. You're just going to do it. You're going to be able to do it like this. It just takes practice. That's all it takes. And you can do it because this is the way the world is moving. The way the world is moving is into telepathy. That will be the form of communication. There will not be Wi-Fi. There will not be this artificial man-made technology. That's set up so that we are thinking and we are understanding that we're not capable of it. We are capable of telepathy. The government knows this. They've had secret projects for 60 plus years. They know this. This is how they figure out, this is how they do remote viewing. We've done the ball of light, which we're going to do right now, and I've done remote viewing, and that's how they do it. It's because they've practiced ESP. They have secret black projects of ESP. Hello, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm in the light. Are you in the light? I'm living in the light now. My whole day tomorrow is going to be in light. All right, so I'm rubbing my hands together, and you may too if you like. You take your hands away from your body and you separate your hands like this. And hopefully you're feeling some kind of vibration, some kind of little circuit on the palms of your hand, and you're creating a ball of light. And we're bringing light and energy onto this earth. And this is how we're getting there. We're getting there through practicing our ESP, our telepathy, our psychic phenomenon. And we are going to have concentration and focus. So what are you feeling? I've shared with you in the last few days, my hands feel like they're on fire practically because I have so much energy here. Okay, so yesterday, what did we do? Yesterday at 7, I said, let's imagine we are outside with our ball of light. Any suggestions? But you're already holding your hands together. Okay, so let's see. All right, so let's imagine, here we have our ball of light. Let's imagine that we are at our Thanksgiving. So we're going to go to the future. We're going to imagine, anticipate, and we've never done anything like this before. We're going to imagine that we're at our Thanksgiving Day celebration with our ball of light, and what happens around us. Can they see us? I mean, this is all imagining, isn't it? But maybe we're going to get into remote viewing. Maybe we're going to predict the future. I don't know. Maybe we're going to create the future. So we're going to close our eyes. We're going to let out a breath. We are going to take away any doubt that we can do this, and we are going to drop down into our senses. And maybe one of your senses is you've mastered: your hearing, your sight, your touch, your feeling, your smell, your taste. And you're going to drop down into your senses, and you're going to imagine holding the ball of light, and you're at your Thanksgiving Day celebration. Let's try this. Okay. We're making physical contact. We're surrendering to our senses. Now I'm going to go to my hearing, and see my clairaudience, and see if that gives me some help. If I visualize in my third eye that I'm at my Thanksgiving Day celebration with my family and friends and loved one. So I realized that they're not going to see me with this because they're talking about me and I'm there. At least for me, that's what's happening. If you're having trouble doing this, maybe imagine going to the location and then imagine that it's the celebration of Thanksgiving. So take it in steps. So you drop down in, you connect to one of your clair senses. I'm doing it with my clairaudience. And so I'm going to the location first, and then I'm suggesting it's Thanksgiving. I'm holding the ball of light. It's a lot. Okay, so what's happening for me is I immediately heard puppy dogs because there's going to be 2 puppy dogs. So I heard them. And that's how I tuned in. I tuned in through sound. And then I hear there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of preparation going on. And I'm going to now tune in with a different sense. I'm going to go to my sense of my feeling. See if I receive any information that way. So I'm holding my ball of light. I go to the location, and then I'm tuning into my heart, my feeling. Okay, so for me, I then received this sound of well, it was about the children and their feeling, how they're feeling. So it's interesting what you receive. And anyone who's doing this, I hope you write in the chat and share with us. And so I'm going to put my hands together because I'm tired now and I'm going to go spend some time in nature. And I want good things for everyone. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday tomorrow. And I'm spinning light. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I'll be back again Friday at 7 o'clock. And you're in the center of it and you're making a wish. Like this video. Happy. Thank you, Deanna. You're awesome. Thank you for joining us. And I'm spinning light and you're making a wish. And I hope I'm wishing good things for you and you're cherished and you're loved and you're worthy. And let's find the light. Let's go. If you're going to find the light through your third eye, if you're going to find the light through your actions, your thoughts, whatever it is, you can find the light. You know, it's a place. It's a location. It's actually this space, but it's filled with light. So we are all ascending right now, and hopefully, thank you so much for coming and joining us, Deanna and Ian and Sandra Bullock and Garrett and anyone else who is here today who didn't even write in the chat. I'm sending you blessings. Good things for you. And I'll post this video. Bye.